All right, so I'm here to talk a little bit about Mission Bit, which is a local San Francisco nonprofit that I'm involved with as a board member and a lead instructor. So Mission Bit is a 501c3, so any donations that you make are tax deductible, whether that's an in-kind donation like a used laptop or just cash. And what we do is we provide free after-school coding classes to public school students. And what makes us a little bit different than some of the other organizations is that we work with the system. So students that enroll in our after-school program actually get credit that's applicable towards their high school graduation. And we spend a little time trying to make our course a little more project-based, so more focused on the practice than the theory. And it's not a trade school. We're not trying to churn out engineers on a line here. We're just trying to get students interested in programming because so few get into it. There's so many biases. And so why did we do this? Well, only 30% of San Francisco's public high schools have any computer science class whatsoever. So I think it's 5 out of the 17 have a computer science class in San Francisco, of all places. And another thing is that many professionals, like myself, want to share knowledge, but we don't want to work as a full-time educator. If you're working for a high school, that's an entirely different world full of bureaucracy and whatnot. But working with a nonprofit like Mission Bit, we're a little bit outside of the system. We isolate you from all that stuff, and it's a part-time commitment. Like, for example, I teach 2 nights a week. And we provide an opportunity for local businesses to work more closely with the community. So we provide field trips to the students where they can visit an office, and we have engineers from local companies mentoring at our organization, and various other ways that we can work with these local businesses and help them give back. And so how do we do this? Well, we have 1 full-time lead instructor per class. I'm the lead instructor for one of our introductory classes, but we also utilize a lot of volunteers to provide more student support. So it's not just 1 instructor and then 20 students. It's 1 instructor and maybe 4 or 5 mentors, and then a bunch of students. So there's about a 5 to 1 student to mentor ratio. So they get a lot of one-on-one time with somebody that can help them. And we partner with other nonprofits in the district and the school district. That's why we're able to offer credits, and it covers all the insurance and the background checks and all that stuff. So it allowed us to bootstrap our organization more quickly. We're less than a year old, actually. And it also allows us to recruit in schools. So we can go to high schools and recruit students directly. This allows us to reach a more diverse student base. If you just have a website where you say, here, take our coding classes, you're going to get exactly the same people that are going to end up in programming anyway, because their parents work in tech or they're just super interested in tech. But by going to the high schools, we can reach like the population of San Francisco. We can talk to any student and tell them about programming and encourage them to take our class. And we also provide laptops for use in class. And this is important because not all students can afford to have their own laptop and bring it to class. Maybe their family has 1 laptop, or maybe it's a desktop or something. And we don't want to limit the students that we can support by requiring them to bring their laptops to the class. And so our current curriculum, we're in our 2nd semester. We just started in the fall. And we have 3 intro web dev classes where we teach them HTML, CSS, that sort of thing. But we have final projects where the students can kind of branch out. We had some students doing some hardware stuff and some students doing some back-end stuff. So it's not strictly in these technologies. The curriculum is very flexible. And we have a pilot intermediate class where we're teaching them back-end technologies. And one of the great things about this intermediate class is Jesse Farmer, one of the founders of Dev Bootcamp, is actually teaching that class. So he's spent years teaching this exact curriculum to adults, professionals, and he's graciously joined us as a board member and lead instructor to bring that curriculum to high school students. And so some metrics, we have grown 300% from fall to spring. We went from 1 class to 4. We've had more than 45 mentors sign up to volunteer with us. We've raised over $25,000 in our crowdfunding campaign. And we have enough student signups to handle at least another class or 2, despite very little marketing. So there's a lot of local demand for this kind of thing. And this money helps us provide this class to more students. And so here's our fundraising campaign. Like since I wrote these slides, I took this screenshot later, so we're a little past 25K now, and maybe even more now. I don't know. I don't check it all the time. And so why does this cost money? Well, we've got all these volunteers. Well, there's administrative overhead. Because we work with the school district, we have to do all this stuff like background checks and insurance and all these things. But that allows us to work with students without their parents being present, and it makes it a much more safe environment. And we have all these laptops. We've got a fleet of about 40 laptops, and they're all old donated computers, so they need maintenance, and we need to be able to replace them if we don't have enough. And some of our lead instructor time is paid. Not all of us are like retired tech entrepreneurs. Some of us are bootstrapping their own companies, or for whatever other reason they need to get paid to be there and be responsible for every class. And we like to give students souvenirs, which is a great marketing trick. As we know, you have the logo on a hoodie or a t-shirt, and other students see it and they ask, hey, what's that? And it helps that we have a pretty cool looking logo. And we also do field trips. We take the students to tech companies, do visits there, and other just fun trips. And we're planning to hire a full-time general manager to deal with fundraising and all of that stuff full-time, rather than just kind of the donated time that we have right now. And right now we're 100% funded by direct donation, but we're kind of getting into the grants process, which is a long-term thing. And so we're not funded in that way yet, but it's something we're looking into. And do we have audio here? All right. So this is just a silly little video of me about 20 years ago in my first attempt to teach.
I'm demoing a PS2 Model 90.
I wasn't always a Mac guy.
I loaded it up with Windows games and a couple DOS games, and I'm just showing the kids what a computer with OS2 can do. I learned to use a computer from my grandfather. He had a couple King's Quest games, and that's how I learned to read too. And then my dad got a computer, and he told me a couple of the DOS commands, and I just picked it up and started using it.
All right, and here's a video that has footage shot from our fall class, and we put this together in order to further our fundraising campaign for this spring.
When I was an 11-year-old kid, I got the opportunity to go and learn how to code, and in turn gave me the opportunity to be able to create my dream currently as a tech CEO.
In my school, you have to be a senior to take computer science.
Well, they don't offer computer science classes at my school. I want to get a master's in software engineering.
I've been really excited to be a part of Mission Bit. It's been a really great experience, and I'm enjoying my time here.
In the Bay Area, where thousands of computer programming jobs remain vacant, only 30% of San Francisco public high schools offer any kind of computer science class. And they're not meeting student demand. But Mission Bit envisions a world where every public school student with the desire to learn how to program is given that opportunity. And we're starting in San Francisco, the heart of the tech industry.
I had no experience writing any code before.
I've really enjoyed the learning environment they have at Mission Bit. I would absolutely consider taking another Mission Bit course.
I want to be an engineer, and especially software engineering.
Now we're asking the community to give in a way that's sure to come back 100-fold. That's where you come in. All funding for this campaign goes toward the free education of San Francisco public school kids in computer programming. Learning space, computers, instructors, materials, tech company visits, everything necessary to give students a head start in the field. Mission Bit began offering classes during the fall 2013 semester, twice a week for 2 hours over 13 weeks. For the upcoming spring semester, we're increasing the number of classes offered and students admitted by 300%. And Mission Bit's instructors are all professional software engineers and entrepreneurs committed to the project's goals.
My schedule's insanely busy, 8 to 100-hour week, but you always need a little break to get away from the work and clear your mind. And why not use that time to really give back to the community and really give other people the opportunity to be where you are today.
90% of students in the fall class had never written a line of code before enrolling. By semester's end, they'd created an HTML5 game, an interactive light show, a browser-based drawing tool, and an instant message app. And where only 12% of computer science degrees are earned by women, MissionBit's gender composition was 43% female.
Because I'm a senior, I wanted to explore my options, so I wanted to take this computer science class, and I thought it would be a good opportunity for me.
I feel like I'm now able to write a website, code a website now.
An education in programming wouldn't be much without work experience, so MissionBit's aggressively partnering with tech companies in and around San Francisco to help establish internship programs and projects for area high school students. And through our partnership with Out of Sight, MissionBit students can earn elective course credit through their schools that count toward graduation.
Having the opportunity as a young kid to really get this experience of learning the code and being able to grow to where I am today, I've always really had a desire to be able to go back to the kids and really say, hey, you can learn this now and really get good at coding, and it'll open up all these doors for you that you wouldn't have otherwise.
Never before have so many possibilities been available to so many kids willing to dedicate themselves to the power of programming, but they need help. MissionBit is a 501c3 nonprofit, and your tax-deductible donations to this Indiegogo campaign can help dispel the industry stereotype of self-absorption. Please, give what you can and help secure the future upward mobility of San Francisco's public school children.
All right, and this is just a little bit about our teaching philosophy. I won't spend too much time on this, but our goal is not to create professional programmers. We want to find projects that students care about, because as we all know, if you have a project you care about, you will learn whatever it takes to complete that project along the way. And it's important to let the students figure things out. You can't just tell them the answers, otherwise they won't learn anything. And if you are trying to answer those questions, you have to figure out where they are in order to answer those questions. And it's important to involve them in the teaching process, because peers can be really good teachers, and teaching reinforces that learning. And it's important to show, not to tell, and to depict and not describe. And we need to lower the barriers. We can't have them doing too much setup before they actually get into coding. And you really need to have infinite patience to work with young students, especially in middle school and high school. All right, thank you.